Hello everyone, this is Dork. Whoa.
What in the world?
Anyway, welcome to the finale of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. So, witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Yuji Mikotoba, lecturer in forensic medicine in the Imperial Yumei University in Tokyo, Japan. Gory, what?
Why are you here?
Professor Mikotoba, the young lady beside you is... this is Dr. Mariah Gori. Scotland Yard's practicing coroner. The daughter of Dr. Scythe, I understand.
Yes, Dr. Scythe.
What a woman. I'm afraid I can't tell you why she's here. She just appeared. You summoned these strange Japanese men as a witness at autopsy. But you don't summon Mama. That makes no sense. She was there too. That's about the size of it. I've had her eyes boring the side of my cheek constantly. Boston's in the antechamber too.
Poor man. The idea that's making me shudder. I don't know. She's actually pretty cute though.
The revelations about Dr. Scythe that came to light some days ago defiled the reputation of the entire judiciary. She was therefore deemed unfit to appear as a witness in today's proceedings.
More like he said she couldn't do it.
The Ministry of Justice's decision of that is final. Well, we wouldn't aim more perjury to be committed, would we?
The Ministry of Justice? Some questionable strings are being pulled, I think.
I remember you, Dr. Mikotoba. But I certainly never expected to be meeting you under these circumstances. Yes, it's been a long while, Lord Strongheart. The prosecution understands that you were a visiting student of forensic science in London until 10 years ago. That's right. I studied under Dr. Wilson at St. Sinners. So you were present at the autopsy of my brother, Lord Clint von Zieks. I was, yes. I assisted Dr. Wilson with the entire procedure. Gory is still staring at him.
Like, why isn't Mama here?
Mama's far more skilled than any Japanese man. Well, Dr. Wilson asked me to be his primary assistant on that occasion.
And this autopsy report was actually penned by you, I believe.
Yes, I noted all the doctor's findings, and when we were done, he read through the document and signed it. Poor Mama. As secondary assistant, she wouldn't have had such a good view of all the innards. So, Professor, do you remember Inspector Gregson? Yes, of course. If it wasn't for his insistence, Lord Von Ziek's autopsy would never have happened. But he was absolutely convinced it revealed decisive evidence against Genshin, you see. So Lord Strongheart had to entreat the nobility to allow it to take place. Do you correct me if I'm wrong, my lord? It was as a result of the autopsy that a mass murder was apprehended, and justice was done. But Gregson admitted it before he was killed. He admitted the results of the autopsy were fabricated. You were there at the time, so you must testify. You have an obligation to tell the truth about what really went on. Absolutely. That's precisely why I'm here. And that's why I'm here too. Very well then. You will give your formal testimony now, witness. But before you begin, a word of warning. Oh? You will state truthfully and accurately what you saw and what you heard at the time. I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise, my lord. The moment your testimony verges on supposition, I will expel you from my courtroom. Remember that.
Okay. Alright.
From my own observations, I couldn't say there was any indication the autopsy results having been fabricated. Death resulted from a wound made by a Western-style sword transfixing the heart. That I found a little strange.
There were no other signs of internal injury. Nothing questionable at all. It was just that beautiful but dangerous piece of evidence removed from the man's stomach.
Presumed to have been swallowed by the victim, as a way of posthumously identifying his assailant.
What did he swallow?
Yeah.
No indication. Nothing to suggest fabrication?
Professor Rikotoba, are you certain about that?
Well, nothing that I could positively identify as such, much less swear to in testimony.
Ah!
Well, that clears things up nicely. The only fabrication here, Asogi, has come from you.
What?
You claim the inspector confessed just before his death, but that is a fabrication.
No! He freely acknowledged it. I swear he did.
Freely? With the tip of a sword at his throat. The man was clearly at his wit's end. The court will give no credence to this confession that was uttered in obvious desperation. Quite simply, there was nothing questionable about the investigation of Lord Clint von Zeke's death. And with this testimony we have, without question, uncovered the whole truth of the matter.
But what about cross-examining?
Yeah.
If I may, my lord. There was most certainly something questionable about it, and the whole truth does rather elude us, I feel. I beg your pardon. Well, you're obviously aware of the facts of the case. All four of the professor's previous victims died when an enormous beast was set upon them that ripped out their throats.
Oh, such horrifying crimes.
But curiously, the killer's last victim, Lord Clint von Zeeks, suffered a different fate.
Yes, you're right.
He was stabbed through the heart with a sword.
That's enough.
Huh?
I believe I warned you about this, witness. I promise to curtail your testimony as soon as it entered the realms of supposition or speculation.
Very well, my lord. In that case, the defense will pursue a conclusion to this during the cross-examination.
See that you do.
I have the right to cross-examine every witness after testimony. And I fully intend to exercise that right.
Ryunosuke, I'm afraid that even the presiding judge has no authority to contravene the letter of the law. As I'm sure every member of the judiciary present in the gallery would agree.
I mean, that's true.
Very well. You may begin counsel. However, the moment your argument strays from the established facts, I will not hesitate to bring the cross-examination to an end. Proceed with caution.
Yes, my lord. Man,
No pressure!
He is really,
He doesn't want this to go on.
like, come on, bruh. You got nothing to hide, don't say anything.
We need to press this.
Okay. What exactly was it, though? What does beautiful but dangerous mean?
It means her mom, obviously.
Well, it was sparkly and round, with a hole, as if it might slip over a finger, perhaps.
It was a ring. It belonged to Genshin Asugi.
My father's ring was inside the victim's stomach?
At the time, Genshin wore a large ring on the digitus cordis of his left hand, the fourth or ring finger. I'd understood it was some sort of keepsake. When my father left Japan for London 16 years ago, I was 8 years old. But I remember that ring.
You do?
My father's possessions were sent to our family home in Japan after his death, but the ring wasn't among them. Obviously not. It was a key piece of evidence. It remains under lock and key in the stores at Scotland Yard to this day. After the autopsy, Genshin was summoned by the police to check for the presence of his ring. It wasn't on his hand, of course. Moreover, there were deep abrasions on his finger where it had been pulled off. Thanks for that insight, Von Zeeks. They arrested the man there and then, right before my eyes. How could they?
I brought the ring along with me today.
Yeah! Good on you, Gory!
You become more attracted by the second.
What the frick? What kind of ring is this?
Whoa.
Here it is. A bit dusty from years in the stores.
Good gracious. Yes, that's it. I haven't seen that in 10 long years.
And that was found inside the victim's stomach.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
You hesitated there, Professor Mikotoba. Should we read something into that?
Well, it's just thinking back now. I didn't actually witness the moment it was extracted from the victim's body.
Ah, it was planted there.
Oh.
Oh my, really?
At that precise moment, Dr. Wilson had asked me to fetch him a new scalpel, you see. Dr. Gory, the removal of historic evidence from the stores requires my consent, does it not?
No.
I'm gonna hide now.
Yeah. However, however it came to be here, the court cannot deny that this is a crucial evidence for today's proceedings.
Very well, you may submit it.
But why was it in his stomach, though? It's not the sort of ring normally seen in Japan. They almost look like claws protecting that jewel.
We must examine it very carefully, Mr. Naruhodo. Very carefully indeed. And that's what we're gonna do.
Do not try to put it on your finger. These fat claws are doing a good job protecting that equally fat gemstone in the middle of this ring.
Yes, if you were clumsy, you could give yourself a rather nasty cut on them, I should think.
Ow! Now my finger's bleeding. The claws really are sharp.
Oh my, that was very quick clumsiness, Mr. Naruhodo, even for you.
Made such a dangerous ring. You couldn't swallow it without yourself doing yourself some fairly serious damage, surely.
Uh-huh.
A sticky mochi bone about that size would go down much better, with some red bean paste in the middle.
Thoughts off food, please?
Someone as clumsy as me would probably manage to choke on it somehow.
For a second, I thought that you were talking.
Oh.
It's like, I could just imagine you saying something like that.
I mean, I did choke on a gummy bear once.
Oh my, how?
Well, we went over, I was eating some inside the car when I was very little, and we went over a speed bump, and I swallowed it, and it got lodged there. And it was only from, like, the, I guess, like, the moisture inside my throat that softened up that helped it go down. But for a few seconds, I didn't think I could get it down.
Oh my goodness.
It was highly, it was highly exciting, I guess.
Oh.
So now, on statement 3, we now must present the ring because if it really were swallowed, there would be signs of internal injury.
Oh, okay. Objection. Wait, hold on a minute. The court has heard that the ring was extracted from the victim's stomach. But you didn't actually see it being removed, did you, Professor Mikotoba?
That's right. As I said in my testimony before, at that moment I was fetching a replacement scalpel that Dr. Wilson requested.
In other words, you can neither confirm nor deny whether this ring is, in fact, really came from the victim's stomach or not.
What are you suggesting, counsel?
Well, that the ring was never in the victim's stomach to begin with. It's entirely feasible that Dr. Wilson fabricated that detail about the autopsy.
What are you saying? That Dr. Wilson...
That Dr. Wilson was in possession of the ring in advance, after it was somehow stolen from Mr. Asugi. And he produced it during the procedure, pretending to have found it there and then in the victim's stomach.
Objection!
Supposition at best. What possible evidence do you have to support such a rash claim?
This evidence, right here.
That's the autopsy report.
It's explicit in that report, Counsel. Other than the ring, nothing unusual was noted internally, so I'm not sure how you intend to prove your point.
Hey, you want to swallow this ring, Strongheart?
You've already done it, my lord. The lack of internal injury says it all.
What?
To swallow a ring of this size will require considerable effort and determination. But, in addition to its size, there are sharp claws around the gemstone to contend with.
My brother was a determined man, and on the brink of death even more so, I'm sure. He would have stopped at nothing to ensure that evil killer was brought to justice.
But if he really had swallowed that enormous ring, it's inconceivable that no traces of its passage down his throat would have remained an internal trauma. As internal trauma.
No! And there you've arrived at the sticking point. And that's precisely why I had my doubts about the findings myself 10 years ago. Then why didn't you say something at the time? I did. I still remember the conversation I had with Dr. Wilson in the laboratory that day.
Look at this! Now this is a very curious thing to find in a man's stomach, wouldn't you say?
But isn't that rather peculiar, Dr. Wilson?
What's that now, Mikotoba?
Well, if you swallowed a ring of that size, with those sharp metal claws that it has, surely you expect to see some damage to the throat and esophagus. Torn mucous membranes at the very least. Dr. Mikotoba, may I remind you that I have vastly more experience than you. I'm terribly sorry. I can think of plenty of ways to explain why no injuries would be seen. Now, let's say this. The victim would appear to have ingested the item as evidence to identify his assailant. Go ahead. Write it down. So I was right. Dr. Wilson deliberately fabricated the results of the autopsy to implicate my father.
I'm disappointed, Counsel. That argument is nothing more than speculation.
What?
Dr. Wilson was Britain's leading authority on forensic science and autopsy work. There is no scientific basis on which to doubt the man's expert opinion.
Pardon the interruption, my lord, but... damage to the mucous membranes of the throat is easily identified even in a living subject. Using a device called an endoscope, recently demonstrated in practical use in France. I want one. The government can pay.
I don't think so. And Dr. Gory, rest assured that your removal of evidence from the stores without permission will not go unpunished.
We owe the dead to find the truth.
I beg your pardon.
But Mama, she chose to stitch her corpses up, with all her secrets inside. That's wrong.
Dr. Gory, it's looking as though she's chosen to walk a different path to her mama.
Yes, the ring. What about the ring? I've just remembered something.
An earlier incident. What it...
What incident?
Running on autopilot again. The one I recounted to you before, about a memory I have. Of Genshin Asugi saving my life. What? My father saved your life? It was 10 years ago, on a foggy night. Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. All of a sudden... Oopsie, wrong button. There it is!
Oh, that's the ring.
Yeah. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He'd shielded me. It was on the ring fingers of his left hand that he used to wear that ring.
Are you saying...
I've always believed that those thugs were after me. But now I'm starting to question if perhaps I wasn't the intended target after all. Wait, but... Genshin was arrested 2 days after that attack. And in that short interval, the decisive evidence needed to indict him was miraculously found.
You mean the ring was stolen from him? You think that's what those thugs were after that night?
Objection.
You pathetic coward. You expect me to believe that you weren't involved? What do you mean by that? It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who took it. You stole my father's ring. You set the whole thing up so you could paint him as a mass murderer and have him arrested.
Kazuma. Open your eyes.
Ryunosuke.
You must know deep down. The truth can be completely obscured, even when your judgment is only slightly clouded. But at the moment, you seem to be floundering through a dense fog. Is that why you were so insistent I should be present in this trial? To see you like this?
Well, this is an amusing spectacle. What a grandiose expression on your face, as if you were Lady Justice herself. It seems you thoroughly convinced yourself of this alleged fabrication of the autopsy results. So much so that you're apparently blind to the blatant contradiction that would be born out of it.
What?
Though it's extremely hard to believe, let us imagine that there was some misconduct during the autopsy. If that were the case, why would Asugi not have disputed the findings in his trial?
Oh.
In the closed court hearing 10 years ago, the defendant never once denied the claims against him. Isn't that right, Lord Von Zieks? Yes, that is indeed correct. Upon hearing the verdict of guilty, he merely closed his eyes, quietly accepting the judgment. The actions of a man who has accepted responsibility for his deeds and is resigned to his fate.
But then...
Oh my, that is very strange. If Mr. Asugi did nothing to oppose the charges against him, then... that would surely mean there was no fabricated evidence.
An obvious conclusion at which you should have arrived many minutes ago, Prosecutor Asugi. Your twisted loyalty and clouded judgment are hampering your ability for logical thought. Genshin Asugi's silence at his hearing can only mean one thing. There was no fabrication of evidence during the autopsy of his final victim 10 years ago.
But what if someone threatened his family if he said something? But if that autopsy was all above board, there'll be enough to stop Lord Strongheart bringing this trial to an immediate conclusion.
Objection.
Oh, snap!
Thank you, Ryunosuke. If it wasn't for your frank words just now, this trial may very well have ended prematurely.
Cosma?
What's this latest absurdity, Council?
My lord, your reasoning is perfectly sound, but for one giant hole.
I beg your pardon.
It's a lot of pardons begged.
You claim my father's silence was due to the fact there was no fabricated evidence, but there's another possible explanation. You've overlooked the possibility that he had a reason for maintaining that silence.
Objection.
Silence that would lead to him being convicted and sent to his death? If the autopsy results were an invention, there's no conceivable reason why the man wouldn't have protested.
Objection.
Oh, those results were an invention, alright. There's no question of that. Or are you forgetting that two people with connection to the autopsy have been assassinated? Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
If I force the grievances I feel from my mind, I start to see you in a very different light. I think perhaps it's you who's been living in delusion these 10 years. Me? Cosmos must create one last chance for us here, Mr. Naruhodo. If we can only show there was a reason for his father's silence in his trial.
A reason why the man would have said nothing even though he was innocent. Could it be part of some negotiation, perhaps?
Enough rhetoric. The court must be shown evidence. What proof do you have that could possibly explain Asugi's silence in court?
And
Don't we have like a copy of his? No, wait, no, we don't. Or do we?
it's actually this. The dismissal notice.
It is?
Because he was going to be let loose.
Oh.
So if
Yeah,
he
that's
just
true,
took
because
the
he-
guilty verdict, he could still get out.
Take that.
It's true that Genshin Asugi's silence during the trial resulted in his conviction. But that didn't actually lead to his execution. On the contrary, it led to his escape. An escape that was only possible because he'd been sentenced to death.
Although I find it hard to believe my father would have negotiated in that way, the defense is correct. A fake execution, falsification of a death certificate, and a jailbreak inside of a coffin. Clearly such an elaborate plan couldn't have been carried out by my father alone. He must have had the help of a collaborator from the judiciary.
I have here the dismissal notice of the chief warder who was working in the prison at the time. The notes read, there are indications that the jailbreak was in planning prior to the inmate's incarceration. In other words, there were suggestions of some sort of negotiation between Mr. Asugi and the British government.
In exchange for his silence in court, he was given an assurance that he'd be broken out of prison. Yes, with that sort of clandestine agreement in place, I can imagine we have kept very quiet.
Ah, that makes sense. I would go further than that, in fact. I would say that the elaborate jailbreak of Mr. Asugi can be explained in no other way.
Order! First fabricated evidence and now a jailbreak conspiracy?
And of course, because it's all intimately linked.
The prosecution wishes to summon new witnesses to the stand.
Witnesses?
People who can testify about the jailbreak that took place 10 years ago.
Ah,
Governor Caden? And the poor chief warder of the prison.
I won't allow this trial to turn into a farce to summon the governor of the prison after all these years.
Oh, it wouldn't be any trouble, my lord.
What?
Father? My dear friend may appear a little rattle-pated at times, but I can assure you he is extremely thorough. He wired both Barclay at the local prison earlier, asking Governor Caden and Mr. Vigil to attend the Old Bailey as a matter of extreme urgency.
Aye, good on you, Sholmes!
yeah. Mr. Sholmes did that?
Yes, Mr. Sholmes did do that.
Oh,
Nice.
are you telling me that?
He
Both
is gonna
men
get
are.
that pheasant.
Huh?
So he is gonna get that pheasant.
He's gonna
after
get
all.
2 pheasants.
Yeah.
Both men are, unless I'm much mistaken, waiting just outside the courtroom at this very moment.
Nice.
My lord, you must permit this trial to proceed as you declared it at its outset. You promised that we would stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
I'm starting to immensely regret that.
I mean, you did say it.
Very well. Bring in the witnesses. Make no mistake, I too would like nothing more than to lay this business to rest once and for all.
Ah, there they are.
Yep. Excuse me. Would the new witnesses state their names and occupations with the court, please?
Oi! Barry Caden, going to Barclay Prison.
Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot. Your other persona, if you don't mind. Oh, I do beg your pardon. Of course.
We don't need gossip, we need Mr. Vigil, please. Will the real Mr. Daly please stand up?
Sure. My name is Daily Vigil. I used to be Chief Warder at Barclay Prison.
The reason you've been summoned here to court today is to testify about the jailbreak of the so-called professor 10 years ago.
Lost? The professor? We already been through all this before, a decade ago!
You good over there?
I just like that. It's losh. Like, what in the frick is that?
They concluded that there was not anything untoward happened.
A convict escaped from your prison, Governor. Probably what you call nothing untoward.
Oh, well,
The convict's death certificate was somehow falsified after he was allegedly executed, and he escaped the prison and inside his own coffin. A plan of that complexity could never have been carried out without the help of somebody of influence inside the prison.
Governor Caden, don't imagine the passage of time will afford you any protection. If it turns out that you were involved in the plot to break Mr. Asogi out of your prison, then of course, the consequences will be very serious. In all likelihood, a capital punishment.
Gads! Hold on there, laddie! All I did was... Witness, Governor Caden. Oh, aye, sir! You have a critical role to play in the public safety of our country. A great responsibility to shoulder. The significance of your testimony in court cannot be understated. Therefore, think carefully before you speak. And Prosecutor Osuki, if you threaten the witness again, you will be held in contempt of court.
My apologies, my lord.
There's no disputing the fact that an intricate jailbreak plot was enacted 10 years ago. Clearly, you are both involved in some way. So you will testify before the court now and explain exactly what took place.
Very well. Let the witnesses give their formal testimony. Tell the court everything you know of the plot to break Asogi out of Barclay 10 years ago. It was the day the Japanese jock was found guilty. The detective came from the prosecutor's office. I assigned the convict to the chief on a vigil here, and put the plan to action behind the scenes.
I was responsible for Asugi right up until the night of his execution. I knew nothing of any plot.
I do not care if there were some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. All I did was carry out my duty for Her Majesty's Great British Empire.
A directive from the prosecutor's office? Are you saying that was the jailbreak plot?
Aye, that's right.
Who sent it? Who authorized that plan?
I didn't ken that.
You're saying you don't know?
He said he didn't ken that.
That's... You silly guy, that's what that means.
No.
Listen, there was no thing about the professor case that was not unusual in some way. I didn't ask any questions. I just did what I was told to do. More than that, I couldn't tell you.
I see.
But if the jailbreak plan originated from the prosecutor's office, then one thing is very clear. As suspected, there were clandestine dealings going on between Mr. Asogi and that office. The jailbreak was promised in exchange for Mr. Asogi admitting to crimes he didn't commit.
That counsel is nothing more than speculation on your part. So, let me ask the defense.
Oh, yes, my lord?
I fail to see how these witnesses have any more pertinent information here. Do you intend to assert your right to a cross-examination?
Absolutely. I have no intention of squandering a single opportunity, my lord.
Ugh, fine.
Yeah.
It seems all you Japanese are fiercely tenacious. Very well. Proceed, counsel.
Alright, here we go.
We need to press the final statement here.
Hold it!
Did you carry out the plan in its entirety?
I did everything I could at the time.
As you know, Genshin Asogi was shot dead in Lowgate Cemetery after the escape. Tell me, was that part of the plan too?
My instructions were to do with getting the jock out of the jail and nothing more. I cannot tell you anything about what happened after that. Only, personally, I believe his death is the last part of the plan.
You good over there, Mr. Vigil?
Excuse me.
Are you alright? Mr. Vigil, is something wrong? Oh. Yes, what could I do for you, sir? He's saluting now? What is it? Some sort of Barclay convention? What Governor Caden was just saying seemed to upset you. Did it bring something to mind, perhaps? For the last 10 years, I've completely blotted out the memories of that time from my mind.
Is it all back now?
I was betrayed by my superiors in the name of my country.
Just as my father was betrayed, it seems.
But you see, thinking back now, I really can't imagine that the shooting of Mr. Asuki in the cemetery was ever part of the plan. You know who shot him? What makes you think that?
Hmm.
Well, it just doesn't make sense, does it? To make the man admit to crimes he didn't commit, with the promise of a jailbreak, only to kill him in the end.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense now that it's being
Yeah.
brought up. That's
weird.
an awful lot of work just to have him die anyway, so...
That's it. Admit to this, you get to leave. It's like, we're gonna
I'll say,
shoot
you get to
anyway.
leave, except, just kidding, you don't.
Yeah, that's very weird. That's treachery of the worst kind. But the point is, if the intention was always to betray him, why would there be any need for all of the
Chicanery.
chicaneries of an escape?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ah!
Yes, that's quite true. If whoever negotiated with Asugi never intended to keep his or her end of the bargain, it would have been far simpler just to let the man be executed in prison as dictated by his sentence. It all happened in that vast chamber of secrets that is Barkley, behind the high prison walls. I suppose nobody knows what really went on in the execution room now. Yes, it's an unsettling mystery, certainly.
Truth be told, there is a wee matter that's never quite made sense to me. If you believe there was some kind of negotiation behind the jailbreak, between a Sogi and a body at the top, it doesn't quite add up, does it?
Governor Caden, I must insist that you explain these doubts that you have. By amending your formal testimony.
Guards! Aye, go on then. Why is this happening to me? Poor innocent me.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think you're poor or innocent.
Yeah, you seem pretty rich.
And seems pretty guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I meant to present there. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Make to the crimes, that was what he had to bargain with, surely.
I cannot see that myself. After all, did the prosecution know have conclusive evidence against the car?
This, you mean. Discovered during the final victim's autopsy. There's every possibility this conclusive evidence was fabricated by Scott Linear in the prosecutor's office.
Objection!
Possibilities are all very well, but nothing has been proven, and we can just kind of cut this short
Excuse me!
by doing this.
Okay. Mr. Vigil, something wrong? Oh no, you haven't lost your memory again, have you? No, not at all. I was merely in a brown study. You can think about how you want to decorate your house later. For now, please focus on the testimony. So sorry. So Asugi-san agreed to confess to the crimes because he was assured he would be broken out of prison later.
I really don't think that Cosmo-sama's father would have engaged in such negotiations.
Then perhaps something compelled him to agree.
What a terrible thing, using the law to legitimize such underhand dealings with a desperate man. Only to double-cross in the end. It's quite the opposite of justice.
Can't help feeling. There's something about this apparent negotiation that doesn't quite add up.
Something doesn't quite add up, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, it doesn't. But I can't quite put my finger on what yet.
Well, in that case, we must keep digging to identify the problem. So, the final statement is what we need to present on, not press.
It seems to me the Japanese fellow didn't have nothing to bargain with.
But this is finally going to be useful. The Asogi Papers!
Oh yeah.
All of his stuff is going to London. All of his stuff is going to London. All of it.
Yeah, but
Except-
not his ring though.
Yeah.
Objection!
Confessing under oath to murders he didn't commit on a verbal assurance of later being broken out of prison. Genshin was taking an incredibly risky gamble.
Very true. There was nothing to stop the British breaking their word and executing him behind closed doors anyway. Under normal circumstances, no man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that.
Which means that Mr. Osuke must have had a trump card. Something that guaranteed he wouldn't be betrayed. Some kind of weapon.
Havers! The fella couldn't have possibly have had anything like that.
But you know that he did, Governor. The Osuke Papers. The name given to the last will and testament of Genshin Osuke.
Oh!
It turns out that Mr. Osuke was hiding his will in his cell at Barclay. Chief Warder Vigil caught him with it one day.
You squealed, did you wee rat? Didn't I tell you to keep that secret?
You can't touch me now!
What do you think I'm doing right now, you punk?
Oh.
Yeah!
Ow. When Mr. Vigil caught sight of all that will through the bars of the convict cell, Mr. Osuke pleaded with the warder. Alright then, what's on that paper?
The last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now.
A weapon?
And after the convict had been killed following the elaborate pretense of the jailbreak, that document mysteriously disappeared, didn't it? Well, yes. All the prison warders searched through the belongings in his cell, but that will was just nowhere to be found. As I understand it, an exhaustive search was made for the document, which became known as the Osuke Papers. Governor Caden, I believe you ordered your prison staff to find it at all costs, didn't you? Would I be right in saying that you knew? You knew that the so-called Osuke Papers had the potential to make great waves somehow.
James! What the blazes you blethering about? The will's found, right and proper, in the fella's cell where I said it would be.
Ow, but how can that be?
That little ow!
I had to make that song.
Kills him. Love it.
But how can that be? We're in a cell. We all searched the place from top to bottom.
Havers, Vigil, you weakling!
I haven't been in the court. Oh no.
Well, you didn't do a proper job, eh, you peely-wally galoot?
I'm not a galoot. You can't criticize me now.
What do you think I'm doing right now, you punk?
Oh.
I showed you a fall, did I know, young lawyer?
Well. Yes, you did. And I have the document, right? Oh, you have the document here.
For some reason, like, the way they're interacting reminds me of Iyasanosa and Kurekta-san. Like, them just, like, talking amongst themselves and just acting out.
It's written in Japanese, and it reads, The Last Will and Testament of Genshin Osuke.
Which means everything is as it should be.
No, it's not. Not quite, my lord. You see, there's an undeniable inconsistency here.
What? What inconsistency?
Mr. Osuke described this document as the only weapon he had left. And yet, this will contains nothing of significance at all. Nothing that would have given the convict any leverage.
Are you suggesting, my learned friend, that the last will and testament stored at Barclay Prison all these years is actually a fake? Nope.
As has clearly been demonstrated already, what went on in Barclay Prison was far from above board.
Or it could very well be a fake, who knows?
That last vilification by the defense was an affront to the entire British legal system. This absurd notion of a weapon is something for which we have only the former Chief Warder's word. The man could quite easily be lying. or at the very least, sorely mistaken.
What? No, I definitely heard him say that. I swear.
Clearly, we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to know exactly what happened with these so-called Asogi papers.
A waste of time. If the will was fake, where's the real document?
Objection!
Mr. Vigil was stabbed in the back by the judiciary 10 years ago. He lost everything. Very nearly his own life. And now you're going to do it again. You're ready to brand him a liar and turn your back on him without even letting him defend himself.
It's clear that Barclay Prison's hiding something. It's clear that the jailbreak was masterminded by someone in the prosecutor's office. It's clear that some illicit negotiations took place. Is the Lordship just going to gloss over these obvious and reprehensible facts?
What did you say?
Testify.
E.
Testify. Snap.
Chicken and fries.
Tasty.
It would
Wait, what?
seem that a vocal few here are utterly blind to the truth, and others are very hungry. Probably for the truth. Very well then, let the witness testify again. Tell the court precisely what you think you saw the convict's last will and testament.
Yes, sir, my lord. I just look so done with everything. As the warder responsible for condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Asugi and kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell. We turned the cell inside out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail.
I only found out about the Oscar papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fellow's robe that was left in his cell. A kimono, I think it's called.
Very good, Caden.
Nice. And his kimono, that's a lie. We searched every inch of the man's cell. We looked through all his clothes. It can't be true.
Why do I get the feeling his wife is the one that wears the pants in this relationship?
Oh, she does.
She wears them quite nicely.
Well, you know, sir, that's why you would call me a liar the once, eh, you wee waffinger?
Wolfing? Hey! There's nothing you can do about it now. You don't have any hold on me anymore.
Just wait until I get my hands a hold of your clothes. I'm gonna throw you around.
Oh no. Other than the hold, like you have, like you like to take my cravat. Of course. Is that what you're going to do? Is it?
I might.
Are you going to give me a good shake again? Or are you too scared?
I might. I'm getting there.
Almost.
No!
A little large, a little enlarged. What a double act.
We compiled. Whoa, that's not the right word. We complied with Asugi's will as far as was possible. All of his personal effects were delivered to his family home in Japan. As a courtesy to the homeland of the most notorious killer our country's ever seen.
And we were much obliged. I can confirm that all my father's belongings arrived safely.
Aye, and you cannot deny the handwriting of the old man, eh?
Yes. Oh, that's you. Oops.
Oh, whoops. I was ready to go along with that. Okay. Yes, there's no mistaking that it's my father's brushwork.
And this last will and testament was the man's last weapon, was it? I think we can safely assume that the convict was merely prattling, knowing that his end was nigh. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
So, we must press on statement 5. Right here.
Okay. And Mr. Asagi's kimono.
Aye, the one he'd brought with him when he was locked up.
Yes. He was permitted to have his personal effects with him during his incarceration, I understand.
That's right. He was granted as much freedom as possible in the few days before his execution.
Indeed. Oh, whew. Woo-wee.
Indeed. He had a number of items of personal significance, I remember. He was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, that kimono, his sword, his pillows, his shoes, his sword.
I just like, he's like just naming off literally everything that he had on. I'm like, yeah, we get it.
We got it. Get to the point.
Karuma, the famous sword of the Asui clan. It bears the soul of my family.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't really getting at that. Forgetting it being the soul of the clan. Could the men have had a more obvious weapon?
Have some respect, Ryunosuke.
Respectful silence?
The warders carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles. He couldn't have hurt
Shackles?
anybody with that thing.
His mustache?
Some
His vital organs. His skin.
His bones. His bones.
His brain.
Vigil.
Vigil, this is why you were fired. It's not because you let him go.
Got fired. Had no home, no money. Okay. God. Still, he was allowed a sword, but no writing materials?
Aye. He wrote that will before he came to stay with us at Barclay, you see. Dr. Mikotoba was asked to bring the necessary Japanese writing implements to the prosecutor's office.
A Suzuri inkstone, black sumi ink, and some hot-sheet rice paper, no doubt.
I was present when he wrote it, but I'm sorry to say, the letters looked like a squirming mess of jet black earthworms to me.
You,
I don't think that's true.
Excuse me.
I think Mr. Vigil got something to say about that. Are you feeling faint, Mr. Vigil? Mr. Vigil! Sir, it was Scarlet, sir.
Oh, written in red,
Hmm.
not black.
What? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blurt it out like that.
It's just, that's what my wife usually wears underneath.
Yeah. Bright red scarlet. Oh, she was very sensual. Okay,
Enough, Vigil!
I'm sorry, it's just
This is why you were fired.
Less swaying and more explaining would be helpful.
Is it something about the testimony we just heard? Have you recalled something of importance?
Something of importance? Possibly, or possibly not.
You're not being helpful. I'm unable to tell which way he's leaning, I'm afraid.
My lord, the defense asks that Mr. Vigil be permitted us to supplement his testimony. With this possibly or possibly not important detail.
Permission granted.
Go ahead, Mr. Vigil. Yes! It was Scarlet! As I remember it, the document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Did he write it in his own blood?
Read those additional notes if you will.
Yeah, recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document and corresponding ink was found.
Huh. Ain't that something? Scarlet.
Yeah,
This seems important.
that must be blood.
It must be.
That must be blood. It must be blood. scarlet colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil. And I believe that's exactly what you did see.
What?
Heavens again! You know how to say that!
Have a look at this report.
That's my brother's autopsy report.
Yes, and there's something in here that bothered me since I first read it.
I can't read a single word of this.
Yeah, it's all gobbledygook. It states the scarlet color ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand.
Yes, so it does.
Scarlet ink! Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit. But I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they?
Oh, no, that's the height of London's aristocracy.
Your wit is
only-
not appreciated. I appreciate it.
I thought it was pretty good.
My brother was a well-bred and fastidious man. Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately.
What is your point, Counsel?
Very messy. My point is this. Whatever Lord Clinton von Zeeks was writing in that unusual colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand.
What?
I remember something troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. And no document penned in the color of the ink that was in the inkwell was ever found. So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was...
The same document that Lord Clint von Zeeks was writing moments before his death.
Then, it was...
If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that, yes. Mr. Vigil! Sir! When you spotted Mr. Asagi with that document in his cell, his precise words were as follows, were they not? Shoo. Alright then, but what's on that paper?
A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. A last will and testament?
Wait, so that wasn't his last will and testament, that was Clint's last will and testament, maybe? Or maybe they, like, made up the other one? But I don't know. It's strange. If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we know, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asagi said.
You really think?
Mr. Vigil did indeed see the conflict with the will, but it wasn't that of Genshin Asagi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zeeks.
No. What?
Objection!
This is madness. My brother's last will and testament? That would mean that he had chosen to die.
That is what it would mean, yes.
No. Impossible. That is utterly out of the question. If I had a wine glass in my hand, I would have thrown it behind me.
Please don't throw it in this direction, sir.
Lord von Zeeks. Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never. He wouldn't rest until the job was done, until the killer was caught. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death, it's obscene.
Objection!
And yet, we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death.
And that Genshin Asugi came to be in possession of that document. So what could the will possibly have contained?
Clearly something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life.
Oh.
Here's something so condemning that prompted the powers that be to enact a daring jailbreak plot. Yes, there can be no question that the will contained information of the utmost secrecy.
Information of the utmost secrecy. Ah! No! It couldn't be.
I've heard more than enough.
You haven't heard all of it.
More than enough, I said. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to having seen serves absolutely no purpose.
Objection.
No, my lord, that's unacceptable.
What did you say, counsel?
Ooh.
The last will and testament that Genshin Asuki had in his possession was that of Lord Clint von Zeeks. All the testament evidence presented to the court has logically led to that as a possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion.
But with no possible means of knowing the contents of the document, there is no line of reasoning to pursue.
A reason why Lord Clint von Zeeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of a condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head. But it's just too hideous.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Ugh.
however difficult the situation might become, you work with your client in pursuit of the truth. That's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Miss Susato,
So hold your head high, and keep soldiering on.
yes, you're right. 10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint von Zeeks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Asuki was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case.
The defense's last statement is mere conjecture.
What are you getting at, man? Ryunosuke!
As soon as these words come out of my mouth, there's no going back.
No, not those words.
Not those either.
Oh, whoops. I believe that the last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zeeks was in fact... Would it be an accusation?
It's confession.
Oh. Okay.
You can do this, Mr. Naruhodo.
I believe that what Lord Clint von Zeeks was actually penned that day was a confession.
A confession.
Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor. And his true identity.
Objection.
Enough, counsel. What are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession about the true identity of the Professor. That would mean...
Lord von Zeeks, I appreciate that this must be hard to take in. It's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy. Wasn't Genshinasuke at all.
No, you can't be suggesting.
It was in fact the man who believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint von Zieks himself. Wow.
Ah!
Heavens!
It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box.
The great von Zieks family. They've been thoroughbreds of the British judiciary for years. And Lord Clint von Zieks, he was a paragon of justice in the capital. But he was actually a mass murderer? A perpetrator of atrocities of the vilest nature? The general public ever found out, law and order of this country would be finished. My brother. Oh, this is too awful. Poor Lord von Zieks.
If you're not of your family, you can be something more. I wondered though, did he never suspect?
Mr. Naruhodo?
Lord Baruch von Zieks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was?
Order in the court!
Lord von Zieks. The professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Yes, he did. Balmung. He was a well-known hunting dog. People called him a giant. I don't believe this. When my brother would go hunting in the forest or the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too, almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
Oh, that's his.
Oh, no.
A jewel-studded collar. Oh.
That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night.
A jewel-studded collar stolen by a thief.
Selden.
It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such a collar during our time in London.
How could you? There was an old emblem attached to the collar too, made of pure gold. It was topped with a small crown and bore an ornate capital letter B. What? An emblem bearing the initial B. Oh my, you know it? It's the insignia of the Baskerville family.
What? The Baskerville? Why is that name coming up now?
Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow. That pure gold emblem was an heirloom, which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There can be no doubt, then. The collar you've described was Balmung's. The family insignia of Lord Clint von Zieks' widow.
There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course.
But it could equally have been from human prey. So is it true then? Clint von Zieks really was a professor? Impossible! These Japanese are making it all up to exonerate their own!
Stop. So in fact, the person responsible for these murders of nobles and royals was a noble himself. And that threatened to be an enormous scandal that would irrevocably de-establish British society.
Destabilize.
Oh, destabilize.
Although, honestly, that's kind of the same in this context.
Ah.
My father knew that, and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought against him. At the very last hour, Those he'd bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil.
Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart?
10 years have passed, and still now, the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy believing that justice was done. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth. Oh?
Hey.
Tell me then! Tell me where Clint really was!
Lord Clint von Zeke was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor, and when in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself.
Oh no.
Clint! The 19th century was a truly miraculous 100 years for Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes and crime, growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint von Zeeks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate at his soul, until eventually, he was consumed. It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese.
Once again? What do you mean?
10 years ago, your father Genshin Asogi turned up at my office one night. The professor?
Yes, beyond all shadow of doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once.
Don't be absurd. That man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital.
Yes, that's the point. That's why none of your British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion whilst he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes.
Do you have evidence?
Nothing definitive, as yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy.
So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student. So I turned down Osogi's plea, and as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Zeek's mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint von Zeeks perished.
I don't believe this. So, in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father did...
Sorry about that, everyone. It's the curse. Let me just, turn that down just a smidge. I don't know how much that'll help, though. Is this better or no?
I mean, it's a little better. It's fine.
Okay. He made the late Lord von Zeeks meet the same fate. Put a permit He put a permanent end to the professor's killing by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life.
As soon as I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened.
And? What about the will?
Asugi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea the existence of such a document at the time. I was the only person who knew the true identity of the professor. So, I resolved to keep it a secret, and to guard the secret to the bitter end.
So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all?
It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father!
I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse.
Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence.
I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him, naturally.
Gregson.
Obviously, he opposed me at first. Are you off your rocker? We can't do something like that! There's no question that it was Asugi who murdered Lord Von Zeeks. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night. Yes, well, I've no doubt that was that Japanese fella. But we haven't got straight of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog. So we're short of a murder weapon to boot. And we're short on time, Gregson. Ugh. We must put a stop to this man's rampage, for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, detective? Blimey.
So that night 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken, that was him, was it? That was Gregson and some hired help.
And the detective handed the stone ring to Dr. Wilson,
who feigned his discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy.
And in the light of the decisive evidence, Mr. Asugi was found guilty of the charges brought against him. Just turn that back up now. I think it's passed.
Yeah.
However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges.
But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhand dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
What weakness?
Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yep.
Yep.
Me?
Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asugi.
What?
Though I hear you've a 14-year-old son. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention, and you will see Japan and your son again.
You scoundrel!
You brat.
Whether you choose wisely or not, it will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you might make in court will have no trouble in stifling them. There's only one outcome for you, Asugi. The gallows.
Don't forget that I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden.
Yes, it hadn't escaped my mind, which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order, you understand? So, what's it to be, Asogi?
Kazuma. He did it for me.
And as I told him at the time, my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order at any cost.
You scumbag.
I've never dared let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in the light of all this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Mael Strongheart?
A rather brilliant idea, wouldn't you say, Lord Baroque von Zeeks? That the spirit of your late brother, that paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses, I ask you?
What brazen...
I knew that you'd play the part to perfection. But your role really wasn't that of some embodiment of death. No, you were London's guardian angel.
An angel with bloody hands? I think not.
Those who had cooperated with me already were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became.
But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago when he was invited to work in Japan.
That's right. So I had to employ the services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Dr. Scythe.
So what with the execution of the professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey? I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I do hereby confess, it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say in my defense, it was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire empire.
Lord Strongheart did it? An unforgivable collection of crimes. But still, all those who died at the Reaper's hand were rotten to the core anyway. If it was all in aid of keeping London safe...
There is no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Now, I would like to entreat all those present. Beyond these 4 walls, nobody need know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is of course for the good of the country.
Can he do this? Can the trial really end now?
Hold it!
I have one last question. For the accused, Lord von Zeeks. What? Of course, I know that you're a highly accomplished prosecutor, so I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother.
Yes. The same thought occurred to me.
It was only once, but... yes. I couldn't say that I never had my doubts. My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong. Perhaps too strong, I observed.
Too black?
Too black, too strong? What is this, Marxism?
Maybe.
At that time, there were members of the aristocracy who were bleeding the country dry for their own gain. And since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil.
And coincidentally at the same time, the professor began his terrifying reign.
During the time of the professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself.
And that made you suspect.
Yes. But it was only once. Not more.
Only once. Really?
Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now.
Do you have any evidence to support that idea?
The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. No matter what the circumstances, it's unthinkable that my brother could have killed his friend and mentor.
That will do. Neither Clint von Zieks nor Genshin Asugi still walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion.
But...
No buts. There are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asugi, and the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Oh.
We ain't done yet.
Thank you, Kazuma.
Me?
You. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made this 11th hour discovery.
What discovery?
My lord, I'm afraid I must insist the trial continues.
I beg your
Whoa.
pardon.
As the court has been reminded today already, we must stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth.
I just told you the whole truth.
Yeah, but, and to that end, one particular statement made by somebody in this courtroom moments ago revealed a very subtle contradiction.
What contradiction?
But all I did was ask the accused one simple question. Well, it began with Lord von Zieks and his recollection about his brother. But Lord Strongheart didn't permit the defendant to speak at length.
I merely point out that we can draw no further useful conclusions here. So where on earth is the contradiction?
One of them definitely just said something contradictory. It's time to identify who... Was it Strongheart?
Of course it's
What?
Strongheart.
Yeah, because, you know, Von Zieks didn't have anything else to say about that. Like, he only knew once that he thought his brother might have been it, but I don't know. It was Lord Strongheart, I'm sure of it. Something he said was slightly off. Come on, Ryunosuke, think back on his words. Find the problem.
Neither Clint von Zieks nor Genshin Asugi still walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. There are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asugi, and the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man.
Lord Strongheart, would you care to explain?
Explain what, Counsel?
Among the statements you just made a few moments ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have.
Inconsistent?
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent.
And whilst an inconsistency remains, the defense has a right to pursue an explanation.
Ryunosuke, what? Let me warn you about the statements you are making, Counsel. They may very well prove fatal. You claim my words contained a contradiction? With which piece of evidence, I ask you?
Would it be his last will and testament? Or the Oski papers,
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
There's not 3 pages.
No, there's only 2. So how would you know about the 3rd page, Mr.
Exactly.
Mr. Strongheart? This here is the will left behind by Mr. Asuki. The 2-paged will.
What?
Yet moments ago, your precise words were the 3-page last will and testament.
Ah!
Could it be that originally there was a 3rd page? Oops.
For a moment, I thought perhaps you'd identified something worthwhile. But it's a mere trifle, I see.
A trifle.
Governor Caden. What can I do for you, sir? You were present when the Japanese man penned his last will and testament. I was there for sure. I'm in the Black Room like scrolls to this day. And I'm quite certain, my lord, that there was a 3rd page at the time.
What?
Only the first 2 pages of the actual will, though. If I mind correctly, the 3rd was a message to his lad back in Japan. For legal purposes, we required only his will. And he wouldn't want any uncomfortable words about Britain to get back to Japan, eh? So it was decided the 3rd page ought to be sent.
Objection.
How dare you make that decision? I had a right to know what it said, to hear my father's final words to me.
The courtroom is no place for sentimentality, Counsel. As it happens, the 3rd page of the document we're here right. Why do I have it? 'Cause I do.
My
Cool.
father's message!
It will be given to you at the end of these proceedings.
It'll be too late once the trial's over. We need to know what it says now. Even the slightest thing may give us a vital clue. My lord, the defense calls for Genshin Sasuke's last words to his son to be read out loud before the court now.
Your request is denied. The inevitably maudlin words can be of no consequence now.
Objection.
The prosecution agrees. The court should know the content of the message. Every possible piece of evidence must be thoroughly examined.
I said no. But, oh well. Governor Caden, you will read the 3rd page of the document for all present to hear. Yes, sir! Only, I should point out, my lord, that I cannot actually read worm language.
Is beautiful handwriting shaming you, Barry? Oh, hey, Mikotoba!
What's going on?
If I could be of assistance here, I would be happy to translate the words into English for the court. Father!
Ugh. You're still here, are you, Dr. Mikotoba?
Naturally. I consider myself a member of the judiciary, albeit a lowly one. But perhaps I should quietly withdraw after I have translated Genshin's message.
I think that'd probably be for the best.
Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Kazuma, the truth is shrouded in darkness, a darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes. That's the end of the message, it would seem.
Haiku poem. Twist thy head.
Father,
What is Karuma?
the name of the Osuki clan's famous sword. A razor-sharp blade known to all, passed down for generations. It embodies a Japanese spirit. It's not known to me.
Of course not. It's the katana sword that was submitted as evidence earlier in these proceedings. Twist his head, though. The one worn by the prosecution counsel when he confronted Inspector Gregson. Okay.
So... While he's doing that...
We can, Oh, Nelly. Mighty Karma. Twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes. That's the proper way to use this sword, is it? Maybe I should try it. Hurts my neck, that's the trouble.
Mr. Naruhodo, if I might make a suggestion? I think perhaps it doesn't mean your head.
Oh,
I once studied the history and development of the katana some time ago, and as I'm sure you're probably aware, the sword's head is at the part of the very end of the hilt. It's written as head in Japanese, but it's pronounced as kashira, I believe.
Kashira? So Mr. Osuke's words really meant twist the butt of the hilt? You don't think?
Huh. Ah.
Look what's inside it.
Is that a tightly wound sheet of parchment?
El papel. The red ink. Scarlet ink. It's written in scarlet ink. I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. This is it, isn't it?
Mr. Naruhodo, look at the signature at the end.
Clint von Zeeks. And the date. 10 years ago, on that fateful day. At night.
So for 10 years, it's been silently concealed inside Karuma and nobody knew. The last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zeeks.
Wait. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Oh my good golly gosh.
All these procrastinations are beginning to try my patience. Adjournment of this court is long overdue. As the presiding judge, I have been as accommodating as possible of the will of the courtroom. However, despite all that, no new information has come to light. In pursuit of justice, Lord Clint von Zeeks tragically lost all sense of morality. When he murdered his former mentor, clearly he was already devoid of his normal faculties.
Objection!
Hogwash! How dare you! I refuse to believe that of my brother.
Too much time has passed. We cannot ever hope to know more than we do now. Especially since the alleged will that he penned in his final moments appears to have been lost forever.
Ah! Lord Strongheart, you appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why. We've heard you state time and again during these proceedings that everything you did was in the interests of protecting British law and order.
And I stand by that. Without the Reaper, we could never have achieved the reduction in crime the capital has seen.
Objection.
Hold on. What about Inspector Gregson, then?
And Dr. Wilson. They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed.
However you dress it up, there was nothing fair or just about that.
What do you want me to say? I did it for me?
Yeah.
Lord Strongheart, what exactly is it that you're hiding?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be hidden, would it? Dr. Mikotoba, were you not to quietly withdraw after the translation of your former associate's will? In this courtroom, no argument carries weight unless it is supported by evidence. And it would seem that the defense has no more evidence to present. In which case, I hereby order all discourse from these proceedings to be struck from the record.
We can't go having that.
My last chance.
Mr. Naruhodo,
I have to present some decisive evidence now, or it's all over. But can I? I mean, yes. Yes, we can. We just found it. Hold on. Wait, my lord. As it happens, the defense does have evidence to present.
What? Don't be absurd! There is nothing of relevance remaining from the time. I've seen your court record. You have a wig, papers, a gun, and just a bunch of other things that don't have any importance.
Oh, okay.
you can't go looking through there. That's for the player, not you. It's high time that you realize something, my lord. This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour that had escaped everyone else's attention.
Nonsense.
What is it, Ryunosuke? What do you have?
I dare say. The final, decisive piece of evidence that will reveal the whole truth about this rotten tale.
How can you...
Decisive.
Well, it would appear there's no escaping it now, my lord.
Let it be so, then. Present whatever you think you have that can sell this decade-old enigma, if you're capable. What exactly is this evidence that the defense claims to be so decisive?
There's a single piece of evidence that can clarify what really happened 10 years ago.
The last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zeeks.
Ha! A wonderfully astute observation, I'm sure. But in case it escaped your notice, that document was lost long ago.
That's right. It was. Only... I have it right here. Discovered just moments ago.
Impossible! That can't be!
But it is.
It is B.
All the bees, everything that's happened, comes back to this will. This document is the key that will unlock the entire mystery.
My brother's last will and testament. Where'd you find that?
Found it in the butt. It was rolled up inside this.
I like to imagine he ran over to Kazuma, took the sword, and is like, it's this!
It's like, hey, what the? Oh,
Inside Karuma?
that ultimate weapon Ryunosuke obtained has lain undisturbed in the hilt of the sword all these years. It's just waiting for the right time to emerge and reveal the truth.
The signature and seal certainly look official. My god, it's true. It's my brother's handwriting. There can be no mistake.
I forbid the contents of that document from being read out! Do you hear me? I strictly forbid it!
You're sweating
Gotta do it,
there.
though. You can't do that, my lord. This document could explain everything.
That document could literally destroy the meaning of justice in this country. I demand that you hand it to me, at once!
Why? What are you trying to hide?
Nothing,
Come on, Mal. Could it be that you already know what's written on this page?
Ugh! What are you implying? Court is adjourned with immediate effect. Clear the courtroom.
Can't do that.
Do that, my lord. And you'll suffer a fatal blow as Lord Chief Justice.
I beg your pardon.
Forcibly ending a trial without good reason. And not any trial. A closed trial by order of Her Majesty the Queen. To defy the monarch's will is treason.
Oh boy.
Last time I checked, the monarch's not here.
Lord Clint Sykes really did pill on that. Yeah. Everyone wants justice.
Read it out.
Do it.
We have rights and duty.
Well,
That's a duty.
well. My lord. It would rather appear as though proceedings aren't going to go quite as you'd hoped.
You fools.
Go ahead, Ryunosuke. Read it. The prosecution gives it full support.
Very well then.
No, for God's sake. No!
It looks like the N64 Ganondorf. When he's like raised his hands up in the air, like watching the castle fall. I penned this my last will and testament in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. The hour is 11 p.m. and I sit at my writing desk in my office. My good friend Asuki stands at my shoulder. He has expressed his intent to invoke the dying ritual of the duel, that I may depart this world with honor. An honor of which I am utterly undeserving. The Japanese are truly merciful people. I, Clint von Zieks, Lord of the Manor of the von Zieks estate, hereby confess to the following. I am the killer who has come to be known in society as the Professor, guilty of 4 counts of murder. I will not hear discourse the corruption rife among the aristocracy, which is to me as one of them so apparent. However, 6 months ago, I took the life of a member of the House of Lords at the heart of depravity, a demon who habitually sacrificed the common man to further his own interests, abusing his position of power. The law is impotent against such vile avarice. Only a fellow demon can rid society of this menace. That demon was my quarry, upon whom I willingly set my great hound. But though I am a hunter of some experience, I am a poor felon, it seems. My guilt was once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. He helped me over a threat of exposing my wicked crime to my beloved wife and brother. Under that threat, I have done this man's bidding for months now, killing those he deemed I kill. Oh, as I watched my former mentor perish before my eyes at the jaws of the hound I commanded, I realized that I had lost the last shred of decency within me, and sunk to the level of a wild beast. There is no path back to the light, be it I or my dear friend Asuki, who dies this night. I am eternally damned. To my extortioner, male Strongheart, may you feel the jaws of the beast at your throat every time you swallow.
Chills. Oh, chills.
Why is that guy smiling? So now we know. Yes, Clint Von Seeks was a murderer, but somebody was directing him and naming his victims. His extortioner, Lord Mel Strongheart. It was you!
Lord Strongheart, a moment ago, you claimed that what the court had just heard could destroy justice in the country. But you weren't trying to protect justice at all. All you were trying to do was conceal the secret of your true nature and the countless lives you sacrificed up till now. Strongheart's like, I am justice.
I am the justice. Oh, he's just sitting up there smiling.
It just didn't make sense to me that the third victim, the former Lord Chief Justice, was my brother's benefactor and a man of lofty principles. As I said, Clint had no possible reason to kill the man. But you did, didn't you, Lord Strongheart? To eliminate the man who stood between you and the office you'd set your sights on.
You.
So you used your own hunting dog, Lord Clint Von Zeeks, to take him down. It is a nice office, you have to admit.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but...
It had to be done. London's unsavory shadows are deep, and the arm of the law fails to reach their depths. Crime must be cut off at the roots, but the Lord Chief Justice at the time couldn't see that. He was weak. I am strong. Lofty principles, you say. Tantamount to cowardice, if you ask me. No one did! Which is why I took his place, in order to fight the crime he was allowing to spread like wildfire. By murdering the man? The Reaper, the Professor, the name makes no difference. As I've explained countless times already, it was all done to the furtherance of law and order in London.
Objection.
Are you going to legitimize the murder of my father now, too? Ah, Genshin Asoki. Well, that was unfortunate. I'd fully intended to send him back to Japan as we'd agreed. I don't believe you. It was you, wasn't it? You killed him. No, it wasn't me who took your father's life.
Then who?
On the night following his mock execution, I went to Logate Cemetery at 3 in the morning with Jigoku.
But Judge Jigoku?
There had to be a collaborator on the Japanese side to manage Asugi's treatment after his repatriation. Jigoku had fierce ambition. It made him easy to manipulate. 10 years ago, after he'd stood trial for the destruction in the witness stand, I had words with him. When I told him the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs could be his, he couldn't agree fast enough. Seishiro, you fool. Yes, you know, Asugi escaped the prison in a closed casket and was subsequently interred. We intended to dig him out of his grave before he ran out of air. But sadly, all did not go to plan. There was an unexpected visit to the cemetery with his own ideas about digging up graves. A man who witnessed what nobody was supposed to see.
Why didn't you kill him then? Oh, Enoch Drebber.
Of course, I knew grave robbers frequented London cemeteries. But that grave on that particular night... Blast! If you find the comic wasn't really executed, this guy rocked the very foundation of the Empire. Then what do we do? Shoot him, Mr. Jigoku! Oh, goodness. Shoot, also get once. He can't live now this has happened. He has to go.
What are you... Oh, that'd be you, I guess.
Oh, what are you talking about? You had an agreement. You promised him you could return to Japan.
Everything has changed now. If the truth got up because of this, both of us will be finished. Forever. Come on, Jigoku, do it! Pull the trigger! Shoot!
Cap.
Jigoku shot Asogi from the shadows. The grave robber was so close the blood sprayed over his coat. He fled as fast as his legs would carry him. Then Jigoku and I put Asogi's body back in the grave from which he just emerged. When I later learned of the waxwork model's presence at the scene as well, I made her swear to 2 things. Never to remove the professor's mask, and never to speak of the events that night. And with that, the secret was buried, along with Asogi's corpse. So, now you know what really happened in Lowgate Cemetery that night. It was Jigoku, your Japanese acquaintance, who killed Asogi in the end, you see.
Yeah, you're so responsible. You're complicit in that murder.
I told him to do it.
He claimed the man's friend, but when push came to shove, he pulled the trigger.
That still don't seem very right. But, I don't know, just before Mr. Jigoku left the courtroom earlier, he said that the assassin exchange proposal was a demand from his British counterpart, not a request.
So you coerced him too? Using what happened in the graveyard?
By that time, Jigoku was the Minister of Foreign Affairs negotiating international treaties with Britain. You can imagine what would have happened if it came to light he'd murdered a compatriot 10 years earlier. He would have lost everything. I merely reminded him of that.
How do you sleep at night?
Like a baby.
I was gonna say,
Like a baby. Best sleep I've gotten in years. These past 10 years, I fought tirelessly with the darker recesses of London's criminal underworld. And I've used whatever means necessary to ensure that justice prevails and law and order reigns supreme.
Objection!
But that makes you no better than them. That couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is, you haven't fought crime at all.
How dare you!
I did.
I saved Clint Von Zeeks from dishonor and his death!
Objection!
whilst behind the scenes you systematically buried anyone who stood in your way. And then, you made my father take the blame.
It was unavoidable. It was the only way to protect our justice system and public order.
Let's not forget the others you had killed as well. Setting the defendant up as a reaper to cover up the truth behind the murders of countless more.
That's enough! Do you have any idea of the conniving that led to the acquittals of those wretched criminals? We have to fight fire with fire. Our courts can't function without a reaper. Can't you see all I've done for this country? This has been my struggle.
Objection!
You've done nothing. It's Lord Von Zeeks here who worked tirelessly and justly in court, whilst enduring the disgrace of the Reaper name.
He's probably like, finally. And Inspector Gregson, fraught with anguish for having sullied his hands through a desire to do the right thing. Not to mention Genshin, who risked his life going in pursuit of the truth you tried to hide. No, the darker recesses of London's underworld were largely filled by you.
You little... When will you get it through your thick skulls?
That it was all for Queen and country? I'm tiring of that excuse. You've consistently twisted the truth for bargaining power to make others do your bidding. Nothing more.
People who willingly twist the truth and coerce others have no right to call themselves part of the judiciary. I strongly suggest you don't ever talk of justice again. This is sad, man.
Well, well, well. Dear me, my good fellows, dear me. A well-deserved round of applause, I think, for a quite marvelous performance.
No, what are you talking about?
Those delightfully grave expressions, that beautifully pronounced Queen's English. Really, our friends from the Far East are quite the picture of industriousness.
You fraud! Keep your mockery!
Please, don't misunderstand. It really is exactly as you both said.
What are you trying to say?
I have occupied the darker recesses of London's underworld and, how did you put it? Done nothing? I confess it's a little embarrassing to have it pointed out quite so starkly, but yes. I really have done nothing. Which means I can be indicted for nothing. No?
What?
Ah! It's true. Personally, I've committed no crime. I've merely been surrounded by fools who've acted very rashly indeed.
Objection.
Hey. You can't get away with that. You've consistently preyed on people's weaknesses.
And what? Threaten them? Are you sure it wasn't just bargaining? I would like to address all the good lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the judiciary here present. You all know of these darker recesses in our great capital, and deep down, I believe you also know that to fight those who dwell there requires at least some of us who occupy the darkness ourselves. So let me appeal to your good sense now. Consider the situation with me. If this catalogue of horrifying revelations were to become common knowledge among the 6 million inhabitants of London, what might happen?
Oh.
To learn that the infamous murderer of royals and nobles was a respected member of the aristocracy himself. That evidence was fabricated in the scapegoat's trial amid secret negotiations with prosecutors to effect a jailbreak. That the Reaper of the Bailey was an organized group of assassins managed by a Scotland Yard inspector. And finally, that it was all masterminded by the Lord Chief Justice himself.
If the general public of Britain knew the truth, all faith in police and prosecutor's office would be completely lost, without doubt. Public order in the capital would be completely it'd break down, be cast back to the lawless days of the last century.
Precisely, as it was 100 years ago, when 1 in 10 of the population were criminals. Think what we've accomplished since then. A public policing force, a comprehensive set of laws. And if we want to continue to protect this new era of law and order, I say again, we must at times occupy the darkness ourselves. We have successfully identified and apprehended the men responsible for taking Inspector Gregson's life. That is all that was expected of this trial. all these other matters that have been discussed will be eliminated from the minutes of these proceedings in the interest of preserving law and order, and to protect Our Majesty the Queen, of course. Well, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, what say you?
Oh no. You're chanting his name now.
Christ. Are you hearing this?
This is the will of the British judiciary?
Get crunk.
For your rousing response, friends, I express my heartfelt gratitude. Therefore, in accordance with the overwhelming wishes of the court, the record shall be erased.
You have to respect the man's ability to turn a situation to his favor.
We can do that too, though.
Lord Strongheart really is a master of manipulation.
Just like my ex, but
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You've conclusively proven his guilt. Yet still he manages to evade justice. I just don't know what we can do.
Ryunosuke.
It looks like the trial really is going to come to an end now. I'm almost out of options, I think. I wouldn't say that. We could. What? Can we like use that doll again?
It's time.
Yeah. Hush. Yes, as I know only too well. The only thing that carries any weight in court is hard evidence.
But Mr. Naruhodo, what evidence is there to use at this stage in the trial?
I have an idea. I don't know whether anything will come of it, but if there's ever time for using this particular item we have amongst the evidence is now.
Sholmes, help!
Give us the bunner rabbit.
Oh my! Yes, Mr. Sholmes asked if you had that with you earlier.
We've exposed all of Lord Strongheart's wrongdoing now. I've no doubt that Mr. Sholmes already deduced exactly how the truth would unfurl. So I think it must be time for the great detective to take the center stage, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Let's take the hair by the ears then, and heave!
Alright, here goes. Heave!
Ow, 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 ow! My dear fellows, must I remind you every time? A gentle tug will suffice.
Mr. Sholmes!
You're looking in quite the wrong direction, Miss Naruhodo. Because I'm over here. Ah! Miss Naruhodo! He's...
The world?
It's Mr. Sholmes!
Why are you see-through?
I'm actually a ghost.
I wasn't expecting you back, Sholmes.
Delighted to be here again, Lord Strongheart.
What is the meaning of this? Bailiff, seize him! Put that man in irons! This is a closed court. You've been warned once already, man.
What the? What, we can't get all of him, my lord! He's see-through! We just go right through him! I'm afraid your efforts are wasted. You see, I'm dancing. And when I'm dancing, no one can touch me. The great detective you see before you is composed entirely of light and shadow. An image, if you will. And man, am I good at this. I can do this for hours. Miss Naruhodo, I must congratulate you on your fine deductions.
Yeah, Mr. Sholmes, what on earth is...
Are you familiar, I wonder, with the invention known as a telephone?
Well, yes, I hear that some public telephones have been installed recently in Tokyo.
The sound of the speaker's voice is converted to an electric signal and transmitted instantly to another place. Quite. The sounds are transmitted. So, could not images keep them company, I mused. Iris and I did some modest experimentation to develop such a device specifically for this very day. Modest experimentation, Mr. Sholmes? What a modest description. And, somewhat incidentally, I thought we might just as well transmit an entire scene.
Somewhat incidentally, Mr. Sholmes. Now you're just being immodest.
Do you mean to say you're not actually here, Sholmes?
Ah, I know my trusty partner would have no trouble grasping the concept.
Except he's grasping the stand to steady himself after your shock arrival.
Poor father. I would have hoped he might have been forewarned, being the great detective's great partner.
Leave my courtroom at once. Get out, 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 or I swear to you.
Dear me. You, on the other hand, Lord Strongheart, appear to have a very poor grasp of the situation. Allow me to reiterate. I am not here, which would, I hope, lead naturally to one asking, where exactly are you? The very question I was awaiting. I am at present enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden.
A garden?
Not just any garden, you understand. A garden at Buckingham Palace.
What? You can't be. Buckingham Palace!
What's Buckingham Palace, Miss Usato? I've never heard of it.
Do you ever read the news, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, it's boring.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I hate it. Mr. Sholmes? Is Iris with you there?
Well now. Iris is currently enjoying some tea. With Her Majesty.
Her Majesty?
Not just any Her Majesty, you understand. Her Majesty, as in the Queen of the British Empire.
What? What?
What on earth is all this about?
Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Mr. Naruhodo.
Order in my court! I demand immediate silence! Her Majesty the Queen! You can't be! I mean, no. This is some sort of unforgivably distasteful trickery by a third-rate detective, that's all.
Third rate?
Unforgivably distasteful trickery. What an apt description. A closed court session attended by elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presume that Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings. So, I decided to show her everything, from start to finish.
Oh my gosh. You are a freaking legend, man. Huh, you showed her?
I am the ace detective. Indeed.
Credit where credit's due.
By dint of the Herlock Sholmes remote cinematograph.
You meddling!
This is some kind of nightmare. Just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling with talk of my latest invention. No doubt you've inferred that the reverse is also true. You don't mean... Her Majesty has seen and heard every moment of the proceedings. I assume there'd be no objection. After all, every trial in this country is conducted under the auspices of Her Majesty, as you know. Sorry, I tripped on my own words.
You...
Yes, me. I confess, I'm quite impatient to hear Her Majesty's opinion about the unforgivably distasteful trickery in which you've been engaged over the past 10 years.
No! I was merely...
Oh, so sorry to keep you all waiting. Vicky and I had so much to talk about.
Just casually calling her Vicky.
Iris, there you are.
Probably makes her feel young.
In fact, I have a little message here from Her Majesty.
A message?
Well then, if everyone is sitting comfortably. Let's see. Forthwith, and with immediate effect, ooh, that's bad. All authority previously afforded to male Strongheart, that's you, by the way, is hereby, this is nice, revoked forevermore. I think that means you're fired.
No.
Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial during the coming days. That sounds bad for you. So, it seems that Her Majesty doesn't believe we need to fight fire with fire. Justice in this country needn't be administered from the shadows at all.
Mel Strongheart. The darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. After today, your brand of law and order has no future, because no longer are you the Lord Chief Justice. In the eyes of the law, and of Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal. Oh, I thought we were all gonna do the pointy thing. Like,
Adjourned! 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 Court is adjourned!
Oof! Dude, you didn't have to break the unicorn's head off. Oh! Ah. That's not gonna break, is it?
You're guilty AF, man.
Justice is so backwards. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. I thought he was actually gonna fall. Oh.
No!
I like to imagine that he burned up in that fire, but I'm pretty sure that did not happen.
He burned, but
Oh, oops.
Lord Cullen von Zeke slept a whim which he confessed to everything. When those words came out of Asugi's mouth, it deranged me completely. I knew I must do anything and everything in my power to contain the situation. But I couldn't find the damned document. I searched his cell, but it wasn't there.
Which precipitated the jailbreak plot, I presume.
What do you mean?
The need to obtain that will was all-consuming. I was sure that if I facilitated Asugi's escape, he would emerge with a will somewhere on his person. But despite searching his limp body in the cemetery that night, it still eluded me. It never even crossed my mind that it was concealed in the sword's hilt.
Oh, Baruch, you don't need to be in that witness place anymore. You can leave.
What pains me now is that my brother left this world without a word to me.
I'm sorry, Lord von Zeeks.
In point of fact, I think perhaps that isn't the case.
Sorry?
How can that be? There is more to his last will and testament.
What?
As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel bitter regret for my younger brother. Baruch, you have always looked up to me, and now you follow in my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Asugi is a fine detective, and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife, May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint von Zeeks.
Clint.
You're a bad, bad man. Mel Strongheart. You colluded with Seisho Jikoku in a criminal plot so immense it spanned the oceans. And you cold-heartedly murdered all those who knew the truth about what happened 10 years ago. But why did you set about that now, a whole decade later?
To ascend to the very peak. These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough. Short of becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General, I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country. And for that promotion, I need to ensure no remnants of the past remained. How could you? I like everything to run smoothly, in the exact manner that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. You've seen my office, and I was just a step away.
And for your ambition to succeed. Did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed? Ah, Mr. Reaper, are you not forgetting something? Such as... You very much adopted your usual prosecutor-like demeanor in the proceedings now. But the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant in this trial. However, the presiding judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. May I suggest, therefore, that we entrust the final adjudication to an old friend? My lord!
I just woke up. I'm so tired. What happened? As a member of the judiciary, I have been following the proceedings from the gallery. And I must say, I shan't ever forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I have witnessed here today. There, this one's much more cool, isn't it? The darkness that has blighted justice in our land these past 10 years has at last been dispelled. Thanks, in no small part, to the efforts of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord?
On behalf of everyone here present in the Old Bailey, I give you my heartfelt thanks.
You're too kind, my lord.
The first time I faced you in court, just under a year ago now, I had the faintest of intimations that if British justice, so warped and twisted over its long history, was finally to know change, this might just be the man to do it.
What?
But at the time, I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge the possibility. I couldn't overcome my hatred of the Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me to apologize for countless discourtesies on my part. You are a lawyer of boundless talent. Oh, Lord von Zeeks.
When I first arrived in Great Britain, I was literally a nobody, certainly not a lawyer. The truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I've met. My best friend, Cosmo Asuki, who let me here in Britain in the first place. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Miss Usato, who helped me study to become a lawyer. The brilliant Lord von Zeeks, who never failed to challenge his Nipponese rival. And not to mention, the exceptional master of logic and reasoning who showed me the true art of deduction. Mr.
Iris
Sholmes.
Wilson.
Oh, oops. Oh,
Saving the best for last, Mr. Naruhodo. What a relief.
I'm well aware that without all these people's help and support, I wouldn't be where I am today. The truth is the guiding light that always leads to happiness. I lived by that principle for a long time now, but actually, it's not true. The truth can cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair.
And for that reason, there are those who feel the need to hide the truth, who do it instinctively, even.
But as soon as we allow our eyes to settle on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows until eventually it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. That's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. So that we can continue to walk the straight and narrow path ahead.
Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Mr. Naruhodo, let me compliment you on your grand opus.
What?
Without your beautifully composed case against Lord Strongheart, Her Majesty would have been unable to act. Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Briz's justice system have been silenced.
Thank you very much.
So, until our paths cross again somewhere.
That's scary. Well then. It would appear that this long trial has finally come to an end.
My apologies for any anxiety caused, my lord.
I'm quite sure we will meet again here in the courtroom before long, Prosecutor Baruch von Zieks. In conclusion of these proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant Baruch von Zieks not guilty.
Yeah! Woo! Yay!
Awesome.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, doesn't that make you feel better?
That is all. Court is adjourned. Boop. I have booped my snoot.
Is he? It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much?
Mr. Naruhodo, I really must congratulate you. It was a truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Mr. Sato.
Oh. Your kind words mean so much to me. It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo. I'd have thought you'd been smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum.
I'm really hungry. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing.
Oh well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Von Zieks' smiling face, everything will seem much better. Yeah, because he's a smiler. Yeah. This is my smiling face. You can't tell from the fact I'm frowning, but...
Oh, I mean, that's perfectly understandable. Mr. Sato, everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder.
Oh dear. I really shouldn't have presumed.
Yeah,
Mr.
what do you say
Naruhodo.
about presuming? Yes?
Almost a year it's been now, since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrate today, well, it's quite remarkable.
But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. The Philistine robbed you of something you held so dear.
What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today.
Oh. Well, thank you.
What magnanimous words. I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if he were here.
Kazuma.
Hey, Susato, you're 0 for 2.
Bruh. Miss Susato. There's another face like thunder here.
Oh my, he really was here.
Lord Von Zeeks. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal.
Congratulate me? Or curse me? You failed to bring down the Reaper.
I owe you an apology.
No, it is I who should apologize. Your father, Genshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps. I'm in unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse.
And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, I suppose you fought for justice and the truth. For that, at least, I can't withhold respect.
Your words mean more to me than you can know. I will hold them dear. Kazuma-sama.
I must say, there's one thing that's still bothering me.
What's that?
The will that Lord Clint von Zeeks wrote before his duel with my father. Asugi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint von Zeeks. What can the second of his final wishes have been?
That your father agreed to honor, you mean?
I think perhaps... That's not me. I think perhaps I may be able to shed some light on that.
What?
Father? It was 10 years ago, as you know. The day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin.
Why aren't you putting him over a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agree to it, Seisho and I would gladly petition the government.
We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Eugene, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret and telling no one.
You should find a lady of the gentry in hiding there.
A lady of the gentry?
She's not in a good way, and she's with child. The birth is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her only hope.
By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin?
Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, and his dying wish.
My goodness.
I swore to the man that I would help, that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you the same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on.
What did you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night, you're going to be...
You never know, though, do you? What life will bring.
Alright then. Tell me the address. I'll head there at once with Seishiro and...
No! Not with him.
Pardon?
This is a favor I'm asking of you. And only you, Yuji.
Right. I see. Very well then. That very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I found the old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. An old hunting hound lay asleep on the grounds. The poor woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate in labor before she weakened further, but it was a tortuous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I cared to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been well looked after over the years, made of top-quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place. B for Baskerville.
Clint had a daughter. Baskerville?
You mean the one was the wife of Lord Clint von Zeeks?
That's right.
Wait, then that means...
The newborn was his daughter.
But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I love children. Yeah.
You do?
No.
Oh.
They wouldn't love me either. Goodness. Not with my face. I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter.
And I suppose he didn't really have any choice.
What?
Well, your brother said he'd confessed everything to his wife. So she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would have been forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer.
Ah!
So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Von Zeeks family as much as possible.
I don't believe it. Your Uncle Baroque!
Yay! Hey, Unc!
I imagine in his final hour, Lord Clint Von Zeeks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I armed my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan. And without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me.
Oh, how awful.
I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he would be a father to her.
That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume.
Yes. He took one look into my eyes and agreed it on the spot.
Mr. Sholmes? He has a heart of gold.
Really, all it can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name.
Oh?
When I had come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name that I gave the little girl.
Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba. In other words...
The name of my mother. Ayame Mikotoba. Oh!
That's right, Ayame. Or in English, Iris.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now. Iris.
I had no idea.
Ouch!
Mr. Naruhodo, what's wrong?
This little thing pinched me on the behind through my trousers pocket. Hard.
And now you know what it feels like. Kind of. Ah, my dear fellows, can you hear me?
Mr. Sholmes, is that you? Ouch! Yes, we can hear you.
You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you. Mr. Sholmes, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius.
Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief injustice would require such measures.
Oh, that's cool.
Bruno! Susie!
Oh, Iris.
I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty Queen Viggy said she thought my special blend was delicious.
Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris.
Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too.
What? I'm afraid I couldn't.
Reaper of the Bay Leaf, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again.
No, really? Oh, pooh.
But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude.
Oh, how lovely. You promise now. I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then.
Alright, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier.
Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon.
Ouch! One final pinch goodbye, was it? Oh, my bottom's sore.
Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Von Zeeks, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life.
Wait, Lord Von Zeeks.
Yes?
What are you intending to do now?
Well, clearly, I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office.
Oh, no.
I intend to publicize the full truth about the the professor case. Once that's done, the Von Zeeks family will be ostracized completely from London society.
Surely not.
So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital.
Oh, I see.
Don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast out as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle's just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Cosmosuke. It seems as though you really matured suddenly.
He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hmm?
Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner.
We must. It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. I'm home. Ah!
About time you got here! We've been waiting ages, Otto!
What are you doing with that colorful piece of history?
It's a party, innit? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it?
There's a girl on Fresno Street who can help you with that, I think.
Right. I'll remember that.
You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak.
You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotoba.
Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaling his partner with the tale of his adventure. A sight to behold.
Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose this fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin. I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikotoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sholmes? What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say so before?
Bro, I thought you were just kidding all the time, but, not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard to not feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikotoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey.
And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato so happy in a very long time. Ah, Runo! There you are! Dinner's on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to fill my boots! Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yup, I'm losing my corpus clobber and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. You're really leaving the police force? But why, Ginny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. And anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver-turned-dick, is he? Well, people can change, you know. Ah yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence.
It's the inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached.
That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career.
But now, it stopped.
Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Crex's career alive. By taking on the great responsibility of finding that watch every single day again.
Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. It's gotta be me. There ain't no one else. Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss.
Yeah.
Yes, Jenny. Yes, he was. Oh, yeah. And I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your own... about that.
Oh.
Alright then, it's decided. I'll do it, and I swear. I'll find your dad and bring him kicking and screaming. What, from the dead?
I mean, that would be pretty impressive.
I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate.
Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well...
I think I'd like to forget that promise, Jenny.
Iris?
Well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people. Hurley, Runo, Professor Mickey.
Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
Well, anyway, I decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley?
Aww.
No.
With every word, Iris.
Nice.
Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy.
I think, Mikotoba. Yes, Holmes? I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh. For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have experienced it, were it not for you. You old softy, Sholmes. But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital. Wouldn't you say? No, you don't have to.
It's okay, we can just...
Oh, well, the food would go cold. That's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley?
Are you sure? Because long enough, Iris.
Woohoo! Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too. That's my greatest family. I need to do something about this loft. This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I lived here. But I think now, time has come. Time to bid this place farewell.
Naruhodo.
Oh.
Oh, Professor.
Are you alone? I didn't hear a sound from Susato's room.
Yes, Sato's son went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of.
Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier.
Oh?
With Iris, I mean. With the subject of her father, when that came up.
Lord Clint von Zeeks.
I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was agreed with Genshin, after all.
Lord Clint von Zeeks' final wish before he died, you mean?
Yes. I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example.
That's why?
When I read Sosuke-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case, the dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt.
Baskerville.
If you decide to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you made the connection to the Von Zeeks. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time.
Ah, yes. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with a Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating.
Something I never understood. That's why Susato-san came across the manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris' The Hounds of the Baskerville story, I mean.
Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I had read and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course.
Ah.
It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping.
So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father.
That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted.
Oh?
I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best.
I think so too. Actually, Professor, I want to talk to you about something too.
Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you?
Yes, I have. I will be turning with you to Japan.
Are you quite sure?
I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think.
I see.
Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Susato-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Oh, I mean, until today. Standing in the courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client. I was sure I could see the trial through. At the end of it, I finally realized. No one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself.
The path of defense lawyer, eh?
Yes, that is what I am now. That's why I'll go back with you to Japan, as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life.
Well, it sounds like you made quite a resolution there.
I have.
Very well then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow. I don't imagine I'll depart for a few days.
Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame.
Never mind. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Ah, that's scary. Susato-san.
I just wanted to let you know I'm back.
Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing?
I'm sorry. I did, yes. I couldn't help but...
Oh! How much did you hear?
Well... From the part about Iris' real father, I think.
So, all of it.
In other words, from the beginning.
So you made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer.
Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you already gone out.
Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that's what you'd decide, Naruhodo-san.
You did? Susato-san.
Yes?
I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon.
I suppose...
You'll be a great help to Cosmo going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side.
I'll do my very best.
This is awkward. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all.
Ah, don't worry, Ryunosuke. We all know that she can read the blue text.
Oh. She was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Cosmo's assistant.
It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves.
Susato-san. Thank you.
Familiar sight.
Yep. We're back at the port again. I can't believe this day's finally come.
You're really leaving then, Reno?
I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't think I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea.
Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will.
Of course. I promise.
Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while, at least, it felt like old times.
Yes, I suppose, on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think.
Alright, Iris. You do that.
Susato-san.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke,
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital. But,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me. Until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san? The path you're going to follow from now on, I wonder if I might follow it at your side, unless I'd be a burden.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Ah! What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
Reno! Your ship's about to leave!
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword. One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes! Would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes' face was alight with joy.
The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection!
Until we meet again, Runo.
It's over!
Dang.
It's done!
That was a very, very long trial.
It sure was.
But I do like the I do like how it ended off though.
Mhm.
There's no hard feelings. I mean, there's still like a few hard feelings about like what happened 10 years ago, but still, like they're still willing to look past that and like keep going forward. And Cosmo's learning to be a prosecutor instead. That's cool. But I kind of, but like the way he looks like and the way like Ryunosuke looks like, I kind of get like why I guess what's his name Phoenix and who's the other guy's name?
Edgeworth?
Yeah,
Miles.
Mm-hmm. I kind of get why they said, oh wait, I knew him, we were friends back in the day. It's like, oh yeah, that kind of, because I always thought he looked like Miles Edgeworth from the beginning. Like kinda. That's very cool. Von Seeks.
Yeah.
You are a good boyo as well. You didn't deserve any of that other stuff that happened with you. Yeah.
So thoughts, Mr. I Play Action Games?
Yeah, it was a good story. I do like it.
Good story.
I mean,
bruh, this is
yeah.
like the pinnacle, I think.
would
I
say
seriously
if you
believe that TGAA, both games, because they're one full story, but that this is probably, and they're all really good, but I think this is like some of the best writing that we've gotten, along with other games that we have not played, because there's still 8 other ones to go through.
Oh yeah, I forgot, because that game like spawns on for like a good while.
Yep.
I got Ace Attorney, you got what was it? You got what's called Apollo Justice as well.
We got Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, then Justice for All, and then Trials and Tribulations. And then he got, we're going chronologically, Miles Edgeworth Investigations 2, and then you have Apollo Justice, and then you have Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice.
Oh wait, actually is this stuff that we've already seen?
It's not, but it's just ending stuff. It's not all that important. It's just kind of like little bits. But yeah, just
Like I was just giving that look too. Wasn't that the same look he gave Sholmes in that one scene where?
Yep.
Oh, you.
But yeah, from here, from here, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, his descendant Phoenix Wright, and when next we meet in court, we'll be dealing with his shenanigans, dealing with prosecutor Miles Edgeworth.
Now that one I kind of remember how that went, like, and I forgot how far it went.
There are 5 cases, but you've probably only seen up to case 4 with Von Karma.
Yeah, I believe I saw that one, and
Manfred von Karma.
yeah, I remember seeing one that had like some lady called, was it Lotta Hart, I guess.
Lotta Hart, yep, she is in case 4.
Yeah. And some other person over there as well, but like, I cannot remember too much of it. But I think I remember it, like, if I see it. I don't remember how most of the cases go. That's what I was gonna say, like, well, if it was just me and I was playing these games, then yeah, I would probably like forget most of the stuff that we're getting ready to do. So the fact that you're here actually being able to point all that out makes it so I can actually like enjoy the story as well.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, man, this thing's kind of hard. You don't think good.
Well, that's why also spoiler-free walkthroughs exist.
Yeah, that's good. I like that as well. So you can kind of like enjoy how things are going,
Yes.
without like being alluded to like, oh, if you got to go this way with it. And like that's what I kind of like about like stuff like that as well, because most times I don't really well, I've said it before, but usually whenever there's like a game I would like to play, like for myself, I don't look at anything about it until I'm able to get it myself. So, like, I appreciate like walkthroughs like that, because I remember like before I didn't care, but then I was like, man, I just kind of ruined the mystery of it though, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather like I wouldn't mind like looking up a couple of things like how is it like story based or something like that. I'll maybe watch like one or two like kind of like in the middle, like if it's something to do with like either doing a mission or just seeing like the combat, so I can see if it's anything that's good for me to do. But other than that, I kind of like just go into like most games like kind of blind nowadays, because it feels better, because it just feels like now you're actually creating like your own experience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, yo, his wife.
Yeah, so 100 years later is roughly the chronology between TGAA2 Resolve and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Man, this really does feel like that whole battle with what is it? You know, after that whole battle with Jonathan and Dio, and then it just goes, like,
a little bit, yeah.
Later. Yeah, it was like, now here's what your descendant's doing. It's like, he's still like on the path to becoming a Greek lawyer.
Yeah. Well, I am really glad that you enjoyed your time with these. Because at very first I was like, there's a chance he won't care for these, just because the way it goes. But the stories, man, are so... Mwah.
Yeah, they are pretty good. Like I said, like, I wouldn't picture myself, like, being able to do it, because, like, most things, like, go over my head with these types of games. But, you know, having somebody else, like, being able to, like, oh, no, see, this is what we're doing right here. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I can kind of get into it like that. And I do like the story. All the characters are very quirky as well. I like that.
Yes.
As well.
That is something that is a constant throughout the Ace Attorney franchise. Is that the characters are quirky. If they weren't, these would be boring.
Yeah,
well, they wouldn't be boring, but it certainly wouldn't make the stories as good as they are.
Yeah, it kind of be like one of those court case shows where it's like, it's not anything like really I guess like not. It'll be like more so on the serious side. It wouldn't be like funny or anything. Because I remember like I used to watch what was it? I don't know if y'all guys remember, but there was this show called Matlock. That
Oh
used to
yeah,
come on.
Madlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
And
seen that. Matlock's fun.
yeah, I know that one's really great. I like it, and I only like it because like my mom like pointed out like, oh hey, you remember Andy Griffith, that show we used to that we watched at night? That's him. He's just older. I'm like, oh, hey, that is.
Yeah, it
him.
is kind of funny because they even got Don Knotts to be in there as well. It's like, yeah, okay, it's obviously not a sequel, but they got the same like kind of duo characters going on here.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I like how that show was like as well, because it is serious, but you always have like doing like something like a little silly sometimes,
Yeah.
and then like the actual the actual case happens, and it's like, oh man, you need to go ahead and defend this thing. You have to go ahead and defend this person. He's saying he didn't do it, but all evidence points to this guy, so you need to do it. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of of like Ace Attorney, because there are some quirky characters like that. Like Malik has like a little bit more I don't know, I guess it has like the same amount of quirkiness and a little bit of the seriousness that the Ace Attorney games have as well. That's probably another reason why I like to enjoy it so much. Oh,
Yeah.
this guy.
What? So, what did you think when you first saw Lord Mal Strongheart?
Well, I thought he was like very serious. At first I thought he was like a good guy, because he seemed like he really wanted to he really wanted like justice to be served, right? And it's like and the thing that kind of tipped me off was like, I would be willing to do anything to make sure that there's just that there's justice like in our great city, and to basically shine a light on all the darkness that's in here. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, I agree with you. Like, some people would like put their lives on the line to go ahead and do that. But the thing is that usually when people say they'll do anything to do it, that means they would probably literally do anything to do it, and that would mean bumping off a couple of people that they think that's that's not actually that's not like on the up and up. And while I agree that that most things should be like most bad things should be like snuffed out, like they shouldn't be allowed to fester, because if you let them do that, then it's just it'll give rise to other things, like, hey, this person can get away with this and he seems like he's living like a pretty good life. Then it's like, maybe I should maybe I should do it too. But turns out that's not really how justice really works. Justice is bringing their mistakes to light and then letting them serve for it. But you do that in a way where you you make sure you show everybody, like, look, this thing you did is really bad. You shouldn't do that. And it's not just making an example of them, It's more so just showing, like, this isn't the path you walk, because when you walk this path, you lead a lot of other people, into ruin with you, because you'll be willing to, like, manipulate them as well.
Yeah.
To kind of get what you want to. So, and as it kind of went along, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, he sure is helping you out. Like, he gave you your position back after you blew that other thing off about the what was it that other secret message that we heard, like, in that last court case in the first part. And it's like, okay, he let us back on. Maybe he's not such a bad guy after all. But then it's like, then after that, then we tried to do like that other case where the was it that benefactor was I guess, like, was killed in Dr. Harebrain's scheme, and then it was like, oh well, what was it? I forgot what he did for that one. I had it, but then I lost it. Dang. But then, I guess like another thing that also kind of like, hey, maybe this guy isn't on the up and up, because why would Lord Chief Justice like tell somebody like in the coroner's office like to mark off like the time of death for somebody, like don't even like include it. Like if you were actually for the justice system, you would do everything in your power to make sure all that stuff come to light. So striking off things, even if you think like I shouldn't do this, like you should do that because it's the truth and people have a right to the truth. You shouldn't hide things from people. You should let them know that you should let everyone know that what's happening.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just you know, I don't think he's all on the up and up like he thought. At first I thought he was pretty cool, but you start doing stuff like that kind of just kind of like played on my, oh, I don't trust this, because it's little things like that with a lot of different folks, like in real life as well, that kind of just, he's kind of said this and it's, okay. I think I kind of get it. Like, I try to give people benefit for the doubt, but it's kind of like what Ryunosuke says when little stuff like that bothers him.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, yeah, I need to find out what's happening with this. But yeah, and that is my, that's how I kind of felt about, like, Lord Strongheart at first. At first I thought he was cool, but then when all the other cases start popping up and then you kind of see, like, little bits and pieces of, like, what he was saying about, like, certain cases, that kind of, like, started messing with me a little bit. I was like, you wouldn't really do that, would you? Like, I don't think you should, but you're doing it anyway, so, I don't know, like, maybe I didn't know, like, how, like, the justice system worked for Britain, but that seems like it.
Well,
yeah.
That is it. We have finished not only the Great Ace Attorney adventure, but also the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Thank you all so very much for being with us through this very long journey, these chronicles. And the next time that we meet in court, we'll be dealing with the blue suit himself, the one that started it all, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And we might have other people on here helping us out with voices, because my goodness, my throat is taking a thrashing and I'm getting old. But maybe not. I don't know. It all depends. But either way, you'll be stuck with us two at the very least, so be prepared for that. Well, thank you, Patu. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you for keeping me company on these.
It was a pleasure watching these. These were... It was a lot more fun than I originally thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I am glad that we did this.
Well, until next time, we'll see you later.